Hey guys, Gus Mitchell here. Today I'm not in a hurry. I'm here around Tunica Resorts in Mississippi, North Mississippi, about 35 minutes outside of Memphis. I acquired 2 yards this year down here from a friend of mine, an older friend and good beekeeper, who was deciding to slow things down on the beekeeping end for himself. So I took over these yards. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse on them. I felt like they were a bit out of my way, but I've really enjoyed learning another area here. I'm right off the levee. The river is not far at all, probably less than a mile, I would guess. And things are a little bit different here than, of course, right in Memphis and also across the bridge in West Memphis. The row crops are the same, so the summer honey is pretty much identical. Fall is a little bit different. I notice much more goldenrod here than in West Memphis. Around West Memphis is mostly smartweed here in the fall. But yeah, this is going to be a slow-paced video. I haven't been here in a little bit. I supered up. Some of these are still in double configuration where they were that way before I acquired them, and I just had left them in there. I did get them after spring splits, so I pulled a summer crop off of them. I think I averaged about 3 supers a piece off of them. Several of them have 3 supers now. I don't know that they're going to be full, but I'm interested to see what they put up for me and what this fall honey is going to look like. If it's going to indeed be goldenrod honey, or if it's going to be smartweed honey, or what's what. So I just figured that I would carry you guys through the whole process with me. Today I brought my daily driver instead of my bigger truck. It's a lot better on fuel, and I won't have enough supers to justify the bigger truck. So, always with the smoke, you know, I was thinking of some things to say to y'all, and one thing that I do recall having problems with that you might want to think about doing too is stashing lighters everywhere. For some reason, I can't keep track of lighters. I lose them. So it's a good thing to put them in every vehicle. Anything you're going to be possibly working bees with, every suit pocket, because usually I can't find them. Today I got 4. There's 2 in this truck and 2 was in this bee suit, so lucky me today. Got some good smoke rolling. Got a good mixture here of pecan hull and rice hull. These are both byproducts of nice crops here in the Delta area. Lots of rice around and lots of pecans, and they smoke beautifully. Easy to light, good thick smoke. And even though I'm coughing, it is a rather pleasant smoke. Put this out of the way because I should have enough to not have to add to it. So running out yards, you got to carry a lot of stuff with you. You always want to make sure you got ratchet straps. If you're pulling honey, I like to use a combination fume board and bee blower. Now, a lot of this is redundant and I've talked about it before, but I figure why not again. So with my fume boards, some people do an X pattern. I don't really use a pattern. I just make sure that I get all around the edges. And I'm not too stingy with it. when I'm not using the fume boards, I like to stack them on top of each other to preserve the stink. I just brought 3 with me today. I already sprayed it, unfortunately, but it looks like a mantis has got in here recently and made, I think it's called a Utica or something. I'm sure it's pretty durable, so maybe it won't be hurt. I'll leave it there and maybe it'll hatch out later on. Then we have the blower, of course, which we'll make sure we go ahead and fill up so we don't have to fill it while we're pulling honey. And I will forego cranking this thing right now because it's loud and I want y'all to hear me. I brought enough covers and bottoms to do 3 across, 3 long. And my intentions are to keep the light separate in its own stack, and the empties will just be off to themselves. And then I also have truck hook, which this is a new one. My buddy Jordan Luger at Luger Foundries made me this one. It's not rebar. I'm not sure what kind of steel this is. It's pretty beefy, pretty nice though. Been using this one this year. So with that, let's look and see what we got. I know we got a leaning hive. I need to do some reconfiguring here on how I want these stands done, and maybe replace some of these timbers. Now my buddy that I got these bees from, he uses the bricks to signify what he had going on in the hive. So if they got a super, they're on the back. If they didn't take a super, they'd be to the front. Then at different times, if you fed them, maybe you would have it at the front. If they need feed, maybe you would hang it half off. If it's queenless, you give it a minus type sign. If it's dead, you stand it up like a tombstone. If it's queen right, generally they're this way. If something's going on and you're really not quite sure, or they're in the process of something, maybe you put it sideways. It could be all sorts of different things. Brick code is kind of an individual thing, but you'll find a lot of similarities amongst beekeepers for different positions. Looks like nothing in this top box. And a little in this second box. So let's see. It's kind of lighter. I have no clue what that is. It's very sweet. It's super sweet. It's kind of light. It's thick. It is not got a smell to it. It is definitely not smartweed, and it is definitely not goldenrod. And that's super. And I don't have a clue what that flavor is. Let's see if we find more of that. It is a little chilly still, guys. So thankfully the bees ain't too riled up yet. I think we're approaching 60, but it's going to climb quick. They dressed up this box, but they don't seem to have much in it. There are some bees in here. I'm gonna set these empties off to the side to load last, so they stay out of my way. I don't know if you guys can see me here. We'll do a little adjustment. The bees prepared it for honey, but they didn't get it. Didn't get the flow, I guess. There is a little honey down here. Let's see what we got here. That is goldenrod. So this may be just a fluke. Not sure. So we'll go ahead, put some fume boards on, move on down the line, let these work. Now when you first put your fume boards on, again, I've said this many times, but you always want to have them catty cornered so the bees can escape out the sides for whatever reason. When you first put them on, if you square them up, they seem to want to go up into them. So there's some pretty aster coming along. Got some bees doing a little back and forth washboard action. Now, if anybody's curious, these are Russian bees. Some of them were already my stock. As I said, this was a buddy of mine, and I've shared cells with him, and he's kept Russian bees a lot longer than I have. Top box empty. But guys, if you don't put them on, you can't get them full. That's a pretty color. That kind of looks like goldenrod there. Pretty color. Yep. Nice. Butterscotchy. Not smartweed. Pleased with that. Like a little variety. I've got about, I don't know, 6 to 8 drums worth now that are primarily smartweed mix for fall crop. So I got one No, I got 2 barrels of goldenrod honey in the shop now, and the other yard's the same here. That ought to give me probably another barrel of goldenrod honey. I can hear the fume board working. They're roaring. I don't know if that shows up on the mic. This is one of the doubles here. They look healthy. They didn't give me no more honey, but I don't think it's the bee's fault. I guess there just wasn't much. We've had this drought this fall, and I'm sure it slowed things down considerably. See if it's all honey up here. Now my buddy, he does not like plastic foundation. He is all wax foundation. We got a little brood, a little drone. Right there. Got a security guard out here rolled up staring at me. I doubt he's gonna come out here. Looking for eggs, just seeing if she's still laying, looking for some open, but it looks like they are going back down into that bottom and backfilling. So lots of nectar and pollen. There's the queen. Wasn't looking for her, but there she is. And she is laying. There is a couple eggs here toward the center. Looks like they're working her down though. A little bit of drone brood. Look like they chewed on some there. Like to see some drones. Look for some mites. Well, there she is, but looks like they might be working on some of this drone, chewing it out. There's me one. Don't see no belly mites, don't see no back mites. I'll come back when I get done pulling honey, extracting. Come back and I'll treat. And this fall flow, I don't know that I'll feed immediately because they seem to be doing pretty well. And if I feed now, I can cause them to shut down earlier than I want. So we don't want that, but we do want to kill some mites. Got that glued down good. Looks like this one put a little bit of honey up in this third box. That pretty color. So we know what that is. Nice. So I'm sure you notice I'm just going down stripping lids off. It'll be easier for me as I move down to pull the supers. Once I get going, this is a small yard, so it's not going to take me long, so I'm not worried about robbing because it's still kind of cool outside, and they haven't got rocking and rolling yet. That interesting little yellow flower here. Like I said, I get them last. That's a nice little box of honey right there for fall. I see the golden tinge, yellow tinge. This one had a brick back, so it must not have got a super last time, and the way that lid just popped up so freely, I'm going to doubt that there's anything in this top box. And there's nothing in this top box but some bees. Well, no, they put a little bit of something in there, but they'll rob it out. It ain't enough to extract. One partial super. Now next year these will all be singles. And I do like the locations here. It's 38, I think it was 35 or 38 minutes from my, there's probably something in this. From my shop, so no, I guess I was wrong. But so they're not that far, and it's an interesting location. It's not too far, and bees do well here. I'm gonna put this back on to keep it, because it's a light super. There's just enough in it for me to want to fool with it. But so this one will have two good supers here. Looks good. Get a little bit of honey there. And last one in this yard. I think when I come back, I'll, or this winter rather, I'll weed eat pretty good. I think I'm gonna come in with my V pattern, my zigzags down through here. Kind of tighten up the area so it's not quite so long. They're scattered enough now that drift's not a real issue. But these are good bees, and I'll fill this yard up in the spring. So, like I said, I'm not in no hurry today. These bees was on soybeans. They haven't harvested them yet. We'll have one for heavy and one for light. Fume boards are working because we got a little bit of sunlight. I'll set that there, pretty empty. Get my fume board back on top working. I'm not sure if I'm in frame or not, guys. But so with the truck pretty much empty, super of bees, but I still like to blow it out, get any small hive beetles, any straggler bees, and I try to blow out of the way I'm walking. So that's how that goes. I'm gonna pull these down, get the rest of these supers on the truck, and then I'll catch back up with you. Hey guys, Gus Mitchell here. Talked to you a little bit about crop burning in a previous video. This field was a rice field here. You can see where it's been burnt off. And here you can see where the burn off did reach the hives. And thankfully stopped pretty short. Bit of a close call there. Little too close for comfort. The colonies appear to be fine. It's my last yard with honey on. Bees are up. Little goldenrod honey. Got that stinky feet smell. Looks like there's a little weight there. A little bit of weight there. Overall, they don't seem to be bothered any. Looks all right. But you can see the scorched ground. So looks like we got lucky there. It's just one of the dangers of having bees in the margins of these agricultural areas. Thankfully, I do feel that these farmers, they really do try to not let anything get out of control, and to work somewhat with the land. Not all of them, but I think most of them do.